Oh my God, I'm getting it every which way. I'm just telling Shayne, I get this letter in the mail that I'm getting sued by somebody who was hurt on my property on March 10th of this year. I have no clue who it is. Mm-hmm. I fucking hate March 10th, my ex-wife's birthday. Fucking craziness happened. I'm dead serious. 310.
I wouldn't worry about it.
I know BG knows her shit. If there's an American law student or somebody to give me advice on this kind of shady shit, I'm fucking fired up about it.
Just let your insurance handle it.
Call the law firm of Balsley, Lemming, and Manzo.
Zaglinski. You gotta throw in the Zaglinski. It adds pizzazz.
I needed that laugh.
You're listening to the Bears Barroom Radio Network. The following program, Bears 100 Proof, is intended for mature audiences.
Okay, rate the record between 35 and 98, if you will. Be very honest. Sometimes it's painful, but do be honest.
Down to Casey, he was looking for a hole to fill.
He was in a bond and way behind on the end of a 3-year deal.
When he came across a young man sitting with the guru, his office was hot.
He sat him down in a leather chair,
said, Coach, let me tell you what. Bet you probably know it, but it's time the Bears are due.
And I know the fucking Colts are next door, so let's make a deal with you.
Now we got a pretty good defense, coach, and the receivers will all be new.
I'll stock that side, enjoy the ride, and you could just be you.
Coach said, my name's Nagy, and Pace, we're gonna win. And I'll take your check, you'll never regret when we're headed to the promised land. Nagy, fire up your boys and get your coaches hired. The Chi-Town's piss in a playoff team is what they do desire. And if you win, you get the city in the streets paved in gold. But if you lose, Canada gets that coach.
Got to work, he said, I'll start this fucking show.
With a phone call that he sent help.
Then he long-term Fangio.
He brought in Tabor for special
teams and something we truly missed.
They all sat down in the coach's room and it sounded something like this.
Yeah, we're gonna dictate what the defense does. We are gonna game plan and use all our fucking weapons. And then Jordan Howard, Tony Cohen, and Mitch Trubisky and company can be truly appreciated.
When they all finished, he said, I'm glad we're thinking it's one. He threw the playbook on the table. Let me show you how it's run. He said, bitch, at the helm, it's gonna be fun. Coming at the defense with a run and gun. Hand off to Howard, maybe RPO. Ain't scared for the one, gonna go, go, go.
We are going to make defenses adjust to us. Defenses will hear us. We're obsessed.
In the barroom. Yo, Vic had a big old grin, cause you just knew he knew it was sweet.
And he gave that playbook back and said, some of this I've never seen.
Then Nagy just stood there grinning, saying, we're gonna take the North again.
We'll shine Lombardi trophy with tears of Packers fans. And they say, Nagy and hell's all gonna be one. Bitch at the helm is gonna be fun. Vic's got the D and we trust Fangio. Pace is fired up food we know.
We're obsessed. We're obsessed.
Get a rating rating on this?
Well, I've heard it before, and I like the words, and I like the rhythm, so I gave it a 90.
What did you think of it?
Well, it had a real good beat, and I think the kids would really enjoy it. I think it'll go pretty far. I gave it an 85. I like it. I like the beat.
Well, I gave it a 90, and I think it's just Bob. I gave it a 90. I felt it had a good beat also, and it was easy to dance to.
I thought it was really easy to dance to, and it had a good beat.
I don't give a fuck.
What does Aldo's mama say?
My son Harry is beautiful and smart, but compared with my son Aldo, he's a fucking idiot.
That is what Aldo's mama said.
Yeah, oh yeah, oh. Yeah. Nah. A Bears Ballroom, they're the ones that fight for truth. Bears are alive or 100 proof, even if the Bears win or lose. A Bears Ballroom, they're the ones that fight for truth. Bears are alive or 100 proof, no matter if the Bears win or lose. Yo, first, the smartest man, no tweets, he's ever missing. Impossible, the mission, call out frauds with precision. Our Bears 100 proof, these faces #1 is Dora. Slaying dumb tweets, cross-eyed like Contora. Never one to back down, to call a fraud a lemon. Wise man, no doubt, Miller's asterisk ending. Cheers, Bears fans. The fire Puerto Rican barkeeping for Chicagoland. He's the godfather, the one, the real producer. Always keeping the show together with a voice that will seduce. Risking out a Firefox, the old timer never stops. IPA, draft, malls, crafts, barkeep takes the shots.
No deny.
Barflies appreciated worldwide. Canada, Scotland, England, Brazil, Mexico, and Dubai. Dr. Phil is the guy, the one to realize that the fireroom needed a show with an endless shoot supply. Go big coat fought the narrative on color, brought the Jasons of get paid for Mitchell. Now I'm the shot enough for the truth. You know your boy's a little guy. These media heads won't give us credits up to the barflies. Flies. Fuck a fraud in his keyboard, Twitter, tough guys surround us. Raining truth on the Bears worldwide, barflies astound us. This is the #1 pod, that's the reality of the truth. And if you don't know us by now, Bears 100 proof. A Bears Ballroom, they're the ones that fight for truth.
Coach Matt Nagy has been pretty excited when he talks about you and how he wants to run you inside and outside, have you catch passes out of the backfield, have you in pass protection, split you out wide. What do you make of the offense so far, and how much fun are you having in that new system?
I feel like the offense is great. You know, it's similar to some of the stuff I did in college. You know, we have a lot of RPOs going in, and then I feel like if I can kick the football, he also wants me to kick the football too. You know, as it goes to show how many places he has me at. I've been everywhere, been in every position. It's crazy.
Bears fans, this is Bears 100 Proof. That was Tariq Cohen on the Jim Rome Show talking about how the Bears head coach Matt Nagy is going to utilize his crazy skills all over the football field. My name is Aldo Gandia. I serve the drinks at this watering hole, but don't you worry. The stars of this nightclub act are here and ready to take center stage. They are, of course, Shayne, the smartest man in the barroom, Marsaw, and draft Dr. Phil Atosham. And of course, sitting at the best seat of the house is Bears Grl. She's scouring the internet for breaking news, funny tweets, and who knows what else. Trey Busy will be along later to do his world-famous steak and whiskey segment. Bear Up, Bear Down will be back too. And who knows what else will spontaneously combust once the booze kicks in. Gentlemen and lady, we've been off for a few weeks, and Draft Dr. Phil and BG kicked us back into the fray Monday night with an all-new Bears Hour Live. Shayne, I want to begin with you. Did you get a chance to hear their show? And if you did, I'd like you to rate the radio show. What'd you think of it?
Yeah, I did. I listened to it before I fell asleep, so I'd give it a solid 4 out of 10, I think. Last night wasn't too bad. No?
It was Monday, and you were in the chat room, you dweeb.
Yeah, I got it. I listened to 75% of it, and then I woke up. I did fall asleep. I was so tired. And I'm like, oh shit! I was in the chat room. I don't know if people are asking me questions.
They were.
They weren't.
And I didn't respond. So no, it was a good show. It's good to get back in the flow of things. It means football is here, and that's really what this is all about. So it's going to be good for all of us, and gets the juices flowing, like we like to say. And Chicago Bears football's back. That's all we want.
Phil, I know you're fucking stoked up, and I also know you're looking for a lawyer, so if you want to do some free advertising on the show, go right ahead.
Maybe someone will come and take this and just put me at ease. But Shayne, I wait on every waiting breath of you. I can't believe you fell asleep on me and the return from the communist country, Bears Grl, and her well-being. I thought you'd be.
No, I wasn't. I didn't fall asleep because of boredom. I fell asleep because I was fucking tired. I had a long day yesterday, and I sat back and I was trying not to wake up Hila and Riley because I had it playing through my phone, and sat back in my recliner, put my legs up. And
so you're saying
I fell asleep.
My soothing voice put you to sleep?
Yeah, sure.
The pipes.
The bedroom voice.
Shayne, do you know who said the royal pipes are clean?
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Chris, what was his name? I tried to say it on the show last night. It's that actor.
Yeah, I did. I was
Cabin Boy. Look that up, BG. Cabin Boy.
Chris Elliott? Chris Elliott?
Chris Elliott.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the dude from The Athletics. He reminds me.
I never saw the movie. I know that that was his kind of big break into movies, and it didn't go very well for him. But
And what's his name from The Athletic, Phil?
Kevin Fishbane. Look at this. For weeks, I keep calling the guy Patrick Finley.
They couldn't be any more different.
Exactly.
We throw Greg fucking Rosenthal in there, and you got.
Oh my god.
Scotland and Japan are so similar, right?
Yeah, Rosenthal's a little closer to Finley. They both talk with a little bit of a
ridiculous.
lisp, I think. Yeah, actually, I don't fuck around with Finley. He's got a fucking switchblade in his seatbelt clip. So
Must be a Chicago thing. I've seen it a couple of times now.
What's up with this, eh?
Hey.
What is a knife in a fucking seatbelt clip do? Is it
I did not even see that in Cuba.
Yeah, tell us about Cuba, Bears Grl. What was the experience like? You spent 6-7 days outside of Havana somewhere?
I spent 2 days in Havana.
Bears Grl. Did you oil yourself up?
Hold on, we have a guest on the line.
Start at the beginning. Just go real
slow.
I spent 2 days in Havana and the rest in Veradero. And Cuba loves Canada. That is all I'm going to say.
Wow. You, as in Canada, or the country?
No, as in the country. More than 50% of their tourism is Canadian. And the moment they find out you're Canadian and not American, they are all over you. What can I get you? How can I help you? So, that was a good time. I would go back.
Good. They didn't try to indoctrinate you and make you a commie?
No. It's a beautiful country, amazing culture, and really friendly people. I mean, beautiful. For all intents and purposes, yes, they're a communist country, but for the most part, the people are proud.
Oh, yeah, they should be. They got free health care. I'd like to send my mom there right now.
You can go get a university degree for free.
Yeah, that too. I like to send my brother there, but it's fucking way too late for his.
By the sounds of it, I'm going to go get a job at DirecTV.
Oh, jeez.
Damn. Shayne is on fire tonight.
Oh. Guy's been waiting 3 weeks.
Literally.
It's got blue balls.
He needs some blue chew.
Yes, I
do. Insert Lauren drop.
Yeah, really. Damn it, I forgot to load that.
I've been waiting for this return.
Jesus, he started one of his last shows with a really funny line. I gotta find it. It was like, if you are blowing something, then we need to talk about blue chew. Some weird thing like that. He writes these really weird transition lines into that ad. I wonder if he's being given that. I'm pretty sure he's writing that copy for it. It's hilarious. I'll find it and add it. All right, guys.
Let's give Blue Chew more advertising for free.
For free, that's right. Hey, Blue Chew, send over a check. Or some of those
guys who are using it. They're willing, able, ready.
Send me a free case of that shit.
You travel to Cuba from U.S. now?
You can if there's some special application. It's got to be for educational purposes, or you've got family there. But you can. There were a couple of Americans on the resort, but it's not like me where I can just go book another trip today if I want to go back tomorrow.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Really?
Let's talk some football, okay? I want to begin our little chat with, we are what? As we were recording this, we're some like 48 hours from the Bears reporting to training camp, 72 hours from the first practice, something like that. And I just want to get a level of how enthused and fired up you guys are. And I even want Bears Grl opinion on this. I really want to kind of set the stage for this first show back after hiatus about talking about how psyched we are about this upcoming season. I wrote a story on bearsbarroom.com saying that, the expectations are higher than they've been in a long time. But frankly, every fucking July, I am stoked. Not that I'm thinking it's going to be a Super Bowl year, but at least that we're going to make progress down the line. Now, I've been let down the last several seasons, but my level of expectation, my level of being excited about what's happening with the Chicago Bears is as high as it has ever been. And I want to get a sense from all you guys. Let me start with the lady in the house. Bears Grl, what's your level of excitement?
I think Phil's pissed off that you're starting with me.
It's a first call. You're communists.
Jesus Christ. In my 20 years of being a Bears fan, I have never been this excited, and I've never bought this much Bears gear in a preseason in my life.
You got a lot of stuff, huh?
I do.
That's awesome. So let's go to Phil. Phil, tell me about the level of enthusiasm that you have going on right now.
I always, like you, Aldo, I get excited for football.
Yeah.
And I get excited for the Bears, obviously, because that is my passion, to see that team. But I don't blow smoke, and this is 100 proof. I can honestly say with complete, confidence that I don't think in all my years watching this team as an adult, so to speak, that I felt this excited with a little whipped cream of confidence that I know that some people are going to look like assholes for how they're talking about players of the Chicago Bears as well as the team and the coach itself. Now, people are hedging their bets on both sides. You'll see it nationally, like, oh, this could be the Rams or this could be the Eagles coming up, but they're not totally on board with that, except for our buddy Adam Rank. So, to me, I am fully thinking that this is a 10-win football team. I don't care. I don't look at strength of schedule and who they're playing. I'm looking at this team and what they've done personnel-wise and everything we talked about. I'm so excited to see it play out. And I'm also excited what I talked about last night, Monday night, is some of these undrafted free agents and the athletes on this team with a coach that I know is going and has gone out of his way to inform the fan base that, and its media department, if anything, that undrafted free agents is what he was. And he'd be a fool to make any concession to not recognize the best talent. And that he made an emphasis of that. Be you, be us. Now, I can't be more excited about it all. The menu is something I'm excited about. It's like going to a restaurant, you know you're going to get a good meal, and then this new restaurant comes out, and the chef that used to be at the old restaurant is there at the new one, and your expectation level is he's going to bring it. And you read that menu, and it's exactly what you want.
Shayne, don't blow any smoke up our asses and let us know.
I don't know where my chef is.
Set the stage for us, Shayne. How you feeling?
Yeah. I just like I always do. I'm just like you guys. I get so, I mean, like the NFL draft is my Christmas, and then you have that little, respite in between before the season starts, and I get excited and talk myself into the Bears. We're actually going to win this year. I do it every single year, but this year to me, it feels different. I'm very excited just for football to be back, but this year, just like when you're playing a sport, you have to have confidence. You hear these guys talk about you have to have that swagger. I'm starting to get that back as a fan because I'm believing in this process. I'm believing in Ryan Pace's vision. I'm believing in Mitch Trubisky. I'm believing in the free agent acquisitions. It just, to me, it feels like they're taking the proper steps. I mean, the years before, you could always feel confident just because it was a clean slate. Everybody was 0-0. But in the back of your head, I always had, is this going to be the year that Jay Cutler finally becomes the guy that we've all been hoping and praying for, and, then somebody goes out and gets hurt and blows it all up. But this year they're a young team, and it just, I guess what makes it different this year is the offense. There's so many players to look forward to on offense. I mean, I was just thinking about it today when I was on the road. I'm like, man, you got, Mitch Trubisky and Tariq Cohen and Jordan Howard, and then you haven't even gotten into the wide receivers and Trey Burton and Adam Shaheen and, even the offensive linemen. It's so anti-Chicago to you're just not used to having that feeling, especially on the offensive side of the ball. That's what just makes this feel different. And then, to steal an analogy from Phil, the cherry on top of his mother's sundae that she makes him on Sunday is Matt Nagy, the guy bringing this all together, the aggressive, forward-thinking head football coach that is all about Mitch Trubisky. And, we're not going to see, 4th and 2 from, our own 40-yard line when the game is hanging in the balance, and we're going to punt the football and just rely on the defense. He's going to be that aggressive guy. So that's where I'm getting all of my optimism from. And it's different. I'm not used to all of this. And I think that's what excites me more than anything.
Yeah, what excites me too is the fact that I think we're entering a new age of NFL football, and we're seeing things happen that we are unaccustomed to seeing. For those of us who have been following NFL football for decades, we're seeing rookie head coaches make it to the playoffs. We're seeing RPOs. We're seeing all sorts of innovation and new things happening with the league that just for us Chicago Bears fans presents all sorts of possibilities because we're fucking on this innovation bandwagon. We brought in a coach who has no head coaching experience, only has a few games of calling plays in the NFL, but we brought him in because he successfully communicated to the general manager, Ryan Pace, that he gets it. He knows how to win in this NFL. He's got the ideas. And this is not like Mark Trestman, who was proven to be a journeyman offensive coordinator. That guy had as many jobs coaching in the NFL as he had years in the NFL. This guy Matt Nagy comes from a successful coaching tree. He has the endorsement of Andy Reid, who is probably the most successful head coach in terms of producing coaches. And so we've hitched our wagon, we being the Chicago Bears, hitched our wagon to somebody who's young, innovative, aggressive, has he captures the room in his press conferences. All of the players are talking about how enthusiastic he is and how it spreads. Plus, we've given him the defensive coordinator who's had success the last 3 years. We're returning 7, 8, 9, maybe starters on the defense. We've got great free agent acquisitions. We've drafted players who in the first round should be a plug-and-play player, a second-round plug-and-play player. These are guys that there aren't any questions about like we had with Leonard Floyd and Kevin White. These guys are ready to play. These guys are ready to take over. So the excitement level for me, for Phil, for Bears Grl, for Shayne, and the thousands of Bears fans that I've talked to on social media and just read their stuff talking about this Bears, it's out of the fucking box, man. This is a great time to be a Chicago Bears fan. I am so totally stoked.
You gotta be stoked because what you said, Aldo, I don't know if Greg Rosenthal recognizes his 1970 as 2018, but even though there's college influences into the NFL, like you're saying, as well as outside of the box thinking, and this is about getting offense to take advantage of some of the rules that the NFL has instituted to help give the offense an advantage. And if you run these RPOs and you do these things and you have an aggressive coach like Shayne was talking about, like we've all talked about, you got the big holdback for us has been the coaching in Chicago. Let's freaking be honest about it. I mean, you say what you want about Cutler and all that stuff. Lovie Smith was here, and how many offensive coordinators? Then Martz comes here. They're on a roll. He gets hurt. And the next Trestman comes here. Coaching has been a huge issue. Huge. More so than it's ever talked about. And these columnists and what have you, they're taking a let's wait and see approach, and that's fine. But the one foundational thing that we're assured of as Bears fans is that he's an offensive-minded guy that's going to be aggressive, and that kind of energy. Even if you see him, what he did as the Arena Football League quarterback, and the type of person, and keeping Vic Fangio and the whole story of this coaching staff. The excitement needs to be there, and I really think the personnel, as well as the much maligned 24 and number 10 this offseason in the media, that is, are going to shut some fucking people up big time. So, me and Shayne went after people the other night about the constant BS of Jordan Howard. And I think this guy, and I know David came on, and I honestly think we proved our point well and made our case well. I think Bears fans are hearing, but the numbers also support what we're saying. I mean, Shayne threw out some fucking... If I had to give a tweet of the week, Shayne, you would get it for the fucking showcase of, okay, you think this guy's elite? Well, look what Jordan did. And look what he did it with. Mm-hmm. So the numbers also state this. Now you get a coach in here that knows how to use Jordan Howard and make an offense not predictable, how good is Jordan Howard going to be? So if you're making sauce, you want the best olive oil, not the Kirkland brand. You want some good olive oil. So you start off the sauce with the fucking running back. To say 1970 football, but he had two back-to-back 1,000 yards. He is the sauce. He is the fucking foundation of why this is going to be great. And that's honestly not, Phil's, calling card is defend Jordan Howard. No, I defend what is true and real. I'm telling you, as good as he is, he's going to be better. I don't know numbers-wise. I'm not going to predict that yet, but I know that this is going to be exciting because he, along with the other personnel, are going to be used correctly. And that, to me, on top of a defense that's really ascending, is why keep overlooking the Bears. It's going to be fun to be a Bears fan this year.
Yeah, you want this young team to be overlooked. That's really what you want. That's what's going to make these guys bond. That's what's going to drive them. I mean, you talk to Akeem Hicks for 5 minutes, and you know that he's a guy that thrives off that. Anthony Miller, as young as he is, you just know that he's a guy that thrives off stuff like that. And Phil, you guys are talking about Matt Nagy being the aggressive coach, and Aldo talked about Andy Reid's coaching tree. 25% of the NFL head coaches are from Andy Reid's coaching tree.
I didn't know.
25% in the NFL.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it sure is. But
how many did he call the best ever?
One. Yeah, our guy.
Exactly.
But Phil, you talk about his aggressiveness, and you and I talked about this back after he was hired, Phil. We were talking about the very first play when the Bears play in the first season, what Matt Nagy should do. And it's something that Andy Reid is really known for. And it's really setting that tone, and you may not think that it matters, but it is. It's all about setting that tone. And the Bears play, what is it, 2 weeks from today, right? Mm-hmm. That they play in the Hall of Fame game?
Yeah.
And I said, don't be surprised if you don't see the Bears come out and on the first fucking play go deep to a guy like Kevin White, just to set that tone. I mean, you complete it. I know it sounds ridiculous to even talk about, but you set a tone. You set a tone right from Jump Street with that. You give a guy like Kevin White, talk about how important confidence is. You don't complete the pass, you go on to the next one, but just you go after it. I'm not saying that you have to keep chucking deep all game long in the preseason, but this is different times. You're not going to see, 3 yards in a cloud of dust anymore, and that these young players are going to thrive off of that.
I always will say it. I don't know if I've said it before on the show, and my uncle made a point to me that I never forget about the 10%. And the talent in the NFL is so close. There's very few difference. It's about getting that extra 10% out of players. And how do you do that? Is to piggyback off Shayne, is you build confidence. And when you have a young team, it's the smartest thing you could possibly do. Here's a player maligned, criticized. He's got 3-step drop. We're going deep. We're gonna put Cohen, motion him out, run him in the slot, so we know the safety's gonna have to be aware. We're gonna run them both off, and Cohen's gonna break to the post, force that safety, have to cover him, and give this kid a one-on-one. Now win that one-on-one and throw a deep ball down. This stuff never happens in Chicago. Shayne's 100% right. Set the tone and a mental game. Set the tone for the season that you're in this to win every fucking game. Every rep matters. Everything matters. So I totally agree with this sentiment. I think the issue with the Chicago Bears has been what Shayne and you said, Aldo, and myself saying it now with coaching. The 4th and 1 situations and critical game decisions and all of that, you can win games by scheming and being smart and aggressive and knowing what your players do well in doing that. And it just has not happened. And I feel like in the Andy Reid school, you're going to get the best bang for your buck, so to speak, when it comes to personnel. And Sunday game plans are going to be creative formationally, as well as countering and running plays off the formation. Like in my film study, and last point, I can count 15 to 20 plays that were ran off a successful play previously. And what do I mean by that? So if they come out in twins right with the tight end on the opposite side and they run a play and it's successful, then the very next play they go to a different formation and completely different personnel grouping and they get stopped. When I've seen them have success occasionally, they had success on first down out of a certain formation. They came back out of the same formation and they ran a counter type of play, whether it be play action off that same formation that worked or a bootleg or a screen, all based on the same formation. Yes, it's X's and O's, but it's important to understand when you're a play caller, you have to scout yourself and know that this is a trickery game too. Thus, play action screens and draws and RPO and all of this stuff is all to fool what your opponent sees and what those defensive backs and linebackers sees. And if you're not using your personnel and your formations to your benefit, then you're doing it wrong. And Shayne, how many times did I have to call for it? They don't do it. They just don't do it. And when they did have success, they'd go away from it, and it just made zero fucking sense.
Yeah.
We interrupt this programming to bring you breaking news. Bears Ballroom's 100 proof breaking news.
So much for trying to blow my nose because I'm feeling like complete crap. Thanks, Aldo. So, breaking news. Have you guys seen the Bleacher Report out earlier today about Mitchell Trubisky? The clickbait line was Mitchell Trubisky ready to be the Bears' savior and, quote, make people eat their words. I admit when I saw the tweet, I was like, oh, it's going to be a garbage article by Tyler Dunn, but it actually was a really good article. Have you guys read it?
I read it.
I haven't either.
No.
It's long.
Yes, it is.
I won't lie. It's quite long. And it's a very thorough and detailed interview with Trubisky. First things first.
That's
we
what
at the
she
bar
said.
room. Oh, God.
It was long? Okay.
First things first, we at the bar room are going to send our love and speedy recovery wishes to Mama Trubisky.
Mm-hmm.
She just had ACL surgery. Yeah, she just had ACL surgery after a four-wheeling excursion gone wrong in the Caribbean. So we are hoping that she is on the mend with that. I want to take you guys through a couple of things that Trubisky had to say. So he actually came up with 103 random thoughts, quotes, and inspirational sayings or things that mattered to him during his journey from Ohio back to Illinois. And one of them was number 10, his jersey number. He says, servant leadership. That's the type of leader you try to be. When I think of servants, I think of people like Martin Luther King. If you're a great servant, people will follow you. Number 85 for the 85 Bears, he came up with, live in the moment. You can't do anything about the past because it's already over, and the future is too far away. One more quote from the article, and again, it's quite lengthy, but take the time to read it because it is worth it, is where he talks about the Bears fan base being hungry and starved, and he hopes that we can keep up with him.
It really is a nicely done job by Tyler Dunn. One of the things that he gets Trubisky to talk about is this book that Trubisky was given, and he really fell in love with it. It's by Sam Walker, and it's called The Captain Class. I actually ordered it today. I want to take a look at it. Walker, the author, spent 11 years studying leadership on the best sports teams, and he came up with like 7 commandments. And I think, Phil, you're really going to love all of these. The first one is extreme doggedness and focus in competition. That's the quality that a captain of a team needs. Number 2, aggressive play that tests the limits of the rules. That to me just talks Phil Atoshin. I got that picture of Phil when he's 15 years old going up for the spike, and that guy going in trying to kick your ass and stuff. Number 3, a willingness to do the thankless jobs in the shadows, not taking any credit for that stuff. Excellent. 4, a low-key, practical, and democratic communication style. 5, motivates others with passionate, nonverbal displays. 6, strong convictions and the courage to stand apart. 7, the final one, ironclad emotional control. That is... I think I'm anxious to read this book because I think Walker has nailed down so many of the traits that great leaders need. You have to have these qualities, or most of these qualities, in order to be a winner in the National Football League. And I am heartened that Trubisky has taken on this responsibility. And this article points out that he's just like totally focused on this. I mean, it's not like he's spending his free time, sipping margaritas somewhere. He is into this, and he wants to be the best. He's got that Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers mentality, that Michael Jordan will to win mentality that we have desperately wanted. I love Jay Cutler. I love what he was capable of doing and so forth, but Jay never displayed this kind of quality until it was kind of too late in his career. The fact that Trubisky is exhibiting it now at the young age of 23 in his second year under coach, and he's talking about the command that he has, that when he gets up to the line of scrimmage, he's going to know what the defense is doing. He's going to know what all 10 of the other players on his side of the football are going to do. Man, it's just fucking awesome. It really is.
There's something else about the article that I want to bring you guys to talk about. It goes beyond that. It goes into Trubisky, the person, Trubisky, the man, and he talks about how he's getting to know everyone in the building at Hallis, from George, the team smoothie maker, to Roberto, the team janitor. And Roberto's actually teaching Trubisky Spanish daily. And this is the quote. "This relationship, like all relationships in that building, is cherished," Trubisky says. "Everyone knows I'm here to win football games, but I'm here for you as well as a person. My teammates know that, and I think that's helped me gain everyone's respect and help them to believe in me. And their belief in me gives me confidence."
Nice. Very nice.
The exactly what you guys are talking about, this thing from Bleacher Report, Mitch sat down with Dan Wiederer and Rich Campbell on their podcast for like 35, 40 minutes and really talked about all of this. And just like what you were alluding to, Aldo, you could just feel it in Mitch's voice that these little things, like BG, what you were just pointing out, these little things aren't little things to Mitch. They all matter, and it's all part of the process to become not just a great NFL quarterback, but to go about it the right way, to take each step, step by step, and bust your ass along the way. And I mean, it's all that little stuff hopefully will pay off for all of us. But as much as it pains me to give Campbell and Wiederer some credit, it is their latest podcast. If you do download that and give it a listen, it is worthwhile.
I hear you. I like to give those guys credit too. Hey, BG. Wait.
You're an asshole.
Hey, BG, real quick. What was Trubisky's number 69?
And you're an asshole too.
I had to find that sound effect of a woman blowing her nose and put that in.
Man, I'm here dying and sick still doing this show with you guys. I don't need this tonight. Come on.
Real quick, though, on this subject matter, because I didn't read any of this, and I'm hearing it for the first time.
You are ruining Trubisky and this article, Aldo.
No more. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Phil.
I just want to say that, you know, as a coach and as a coach's son and being around this game, you really, and I'm being serious, recognize the persona effect and what a person gives off. Now, I'm in Cleveland with my father standing on the sideline as the Bears warm up and talking to Player and Kyle and what was his name, the corner, Tim Jennings. And my dad's talking to these guys he doesn't know and with me. And then here comes Jay Cutler out of the tunnel, and he's coming out. And he's like 3 to 5 feet from us. And my dad, in his Italian way, is like, hey, Jay, hey, Cutler. He didn't turn his head, didn't acknowledge, didn't wave. And my dad looked at me, and he's like, there's something that's not good about that. You got, you know, there was all these kids, these Bears fans around us, and he just ignored it. Now, I get it, and my dad and I talked about it, and he's like, listen, I can excuse the worker in the stadium and this, that, and the other. Here's a preseason game in a moment with little kids here and everything, and Jay don't want to be bothered. Don't bother Jay. At some point, don't bother Jay makes that offensive center a little uncomfortable, makes the offensive tackle a little uncomfortable. Don't bother Jay. It's Jay. When you, and I'm only using that to give you the example that this kid is going out of his way for each and every person in the family of the Bears. And I didn't hear any of this stuff, so you're giving it to me tonight, and it resonated with that moment of saying the Bears need a guy that loves everybody and loves football, number one. If you don't love the game, it's not going to love you back. And when I hear this stuff that you're talking about, BG and Aldo, and the leadership and the book, and just the energy of what's going on with Mitch, this is a guy that loves football. And we can argue, and Shayne has said it 100 times to me and everything. Love Cutler, love Cutler's talent, but does he really love the game? And to be truth be told, not like this. Somebody who's going at, I think you said it, Aldo, it took him a long time to get to the point where, you know, your career might end. You might not accomplish, and then you wake up. This kid's waking up to be the best, and that's what it takes. And really, ultimately, as a Bears fan worldwide, wherever you're listening or watching this team, and for me, a lot of this hype going around Jay Cutler and the Cavalieri show, and I'm sure BG is going to come with a segment, but for me, I just don't want to hear it. It's like, I'm past it. I'm done with this guy. I'm totally in on Mitch, and this makes it even more exciting for me to hear that his love for the game and the Chicago Bears and each and every fucking person in the building, even the shake maker, is something that a winner does. And hopefully he keeps that kind of energy throughout his career, because I believe that difference is there. And talking to a couple of talking to John Jenkins, the resonance of confidence in that football player going into competition in camp, and the confidence in the work that he's put in is really exhumed. And he can't speak high enough about what he sees in Mitch and how he deals with the team. So when you hear it and you see it and you hear it here and you know it's not bullshit. I can't remember when you've had someone who absolutely has athleticism, accuracy, and love for the game of football. That missing ingredient there, Aldo, is what we've been missing, that I think really is why I feel so great, aside from Howard in this offense, about this team, is this young kid.
Bears Barroom breaking news.
So while we are recording, we are missing the ESPY Awards, and we have not seen Miss Danica Patrick host and ruin the shows. And Miss Patrick, I have a tweet for you when you're done hosting that you might want to take a look at. But what I do want to talk about at the awards is Jim Kelly. So Adam Schefter tweeted out 29 minutes ago that Jim Kelly in his speech said, quote, "Make a difference today for someone who is fighting for tomorrow." The Buffalo Bills tweeted out, quote, "I will never give up. I will keep fighting till the end. Congratulations to Jim Kelly on being the recipient of the 2018 Jimmy V Award for Perseverance. #Kelly Tough." And the video that's associated to that tweet, I can't actually watch because it makes me cry every single time I see it. So when you get a chance, go take a look at it, but not now.
I do have a 45-second clip from Jim Kelly's speech. Let me play it. I have not heard this, but apparently it is trending on Twitter. So let's hear what Jim Kelly said in this portion of his speech.
You don't need to be a Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers to make a difference out there. Every single person in this room can be a difference maker. You can be just a normal person who gets up every morning and goes to work. But you can be a difference maker. Put the smile on those faces. My kids, my friends, when they came in to see me, not once did they ever have a frown on their face. So I just urge anybody out there, if you have somebody out there who's suffering, it doesn't have to be cancer. It could be somebody not having a good day. It could be your mom, your dad. It could be your grandparents. What you say to them, the smile that you have on your face, that can be the difference in them making it the next day. Remember that. Always, always persevere. Like Jimmy B said, never, ever give up.
That's amazing. Wow. Heart-rendering. Clearly his speech has been impacted by...
He had jaw surgery.
Oh, my goodness.
Multiple, yeah.
Yeah,
multiple surgeries.
I remember interviewing Jim Kelly in 1989. I was doing something for CBS down at Disney World, and he was super nice. He was there with his kids, his family, his wife. He just seemed like the type of person we've all heard that he is, an all-American, super nice guy. And it's unfortunate that he has had to go through this battle. But what is fortunate for all of us is that he's teaching us how to deal with adversity, and we really wish him and his loved ones the very best.
God bless you.
All right, Bears Girl, what do we do now? I am totally rattled here.
You're totally rattled. Well, that's why I didn't want to break this till the end of the show. Oh. But why don't you do your bear up, bear down?
All right, let's do bear up, bear down.
Oh, we're coming back.
Let me tell you something.
We are.
Back to the lab without all those mics to grab.
I have been dying to hear this song. It just brings back some wonderful memories from last fall.
You know what? Yeah. Shayne said the same thing. He couldn't wait to hear it.
I know.
It's in the toilet.
Yeah, totally stoked.
Air Jared to sing it.
Barroom Radio. A bear up, a bear down. It's Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man around. A bear up, a bear down. It's Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man around. A bear up, a bear down. It's Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man around. A bear up, a bear down. It's Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man around. A bear up. This week, Draft Dr. Phil and Shayne Marsaw, the smartest man in the bar rooms. Bear ups. and Bear Downs of the week. A bear up, a bear down. Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man around there watching the tape and weighing. The game is done. The Bears have lost and won. They're playing the tape and grading. Bear up, bear down. Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man around there watching the tape and weighing. The game is done. The Bears have lost or won. They're playing. The boys are grading. Cheeto blockies, I take them out like my
All right, I would love to play the last minute of that song, but we're running late on this show.
He's the fucking man tonight.
We saw that Shayne was already dozing off.
Yeah.
The mail must go through tomorrow morning. So, all right, here's what we're doing. This is a regular feature that we have during the season, but I want the guys to do the feature tonight so that we can discuss quickly, because we still have tweets of the week and we still have Trey Busy coming. So we can discuss a player that Shayne and Phil thinks is going to exceed expectations in training camp, which begins this weekend, and one that we're concerned about, that they are concerned about, may not meet expectations. So it's one player who will exceed expectations, bear up, and one player who may not meet expectations, bear down. I'm spinning the bottle right now, and it goes to Draft Dr. Phil. You begin with your, you pick it, bear up or bear down.
Well, don't we always start with the bad first?
Yeah, you're right. Thanks for reminding me. Go for it.
Well, it's a toss-up between two, and both of these players, I don't want to steal one of Shayne, so I'm going to go Kevin White. And this is why, when I assess Kevin, I think earlier when I was talking about Mitch Trubisky loving the game of football, that was one of my questions about him. How hard does he work at knowing his playbook, knowing how to run these routes? In this offseason, he's really going out of his way to showcase that he really wants it. So that's all well and good. So now when I look at tape of the guy, and I did this for this exercise, I look at a guy that's stressed. He's playing tight. If he can get to the point of loosening up and not being as tense out on the football field, and it's just something I see in his game, that when you play tense like that, you have a tendency to feel hits and injure yourself. When you're playing loose and you're playing confident, you're playing winning football, and you tend to go full speed, and thus the injuries aren't as, you're getting up. There's a reason why Peyton got up, besides how hard his ass worked in the offseason. He was confident, he went full speed, and he was ready. I think if Kevin White, the pressure of being great, if he's stressed out there, this is going to disappoint his career. This will be the end of his time with the Bears in my mind. So, again, I'm choosing one guy that I don't know if he's going to be able to overcome this in my mind, because I think those hurdles are what they are now. Shayne said in the lead, throw it deep up to build this kid's confidence. I hope that happens, but although he's my bear down leading into camp.
Well, I'm really sorry to hear that, because my expectations for Kevin are much higher. I really do think that while he's not going to, set Bear records or anything like that, which shouldn't be that hard to do for that position, I do expect him to have a solid season. And that's just a gut feel. But We shall see. Hopefully you are
last
wrong.
I checked, your last name wasn't Lemming. So I don't want any gut feelings. Wait, you're not pretending to be an insider, my bad.
No, never have and never will.
So close.
Sorry.
And I don't work at a bookstore
So
either.
fucking close.
It was there like a plate of poutine.
Said it right. Finally.
Well done. Well done. Shayne, the smartest man in the bar room. What have you for us?
Well, I got two that I was deciding between, and my one that I was originally going to go with was Bullard, but I'm not going to go there. And I know you guys are going to give me grief about this guy, and I know Phil's definitely going to laugh, but I'm very, very skeptical of our field goal kicker, Cody Parkey. Nobody's talking about it. You know, people think because Pace went out and signed him quickly and gave him a bunch of money that the kicking game is fixed. You know, this kid's played for what, 4 teams or 5 teams in 5 years, and let's not pretend like it's easy to kick in Soldier Field. Mm-hmm. And it's as we saw last year with Connor Barth and our band of kicking idiots, they affect games. And what shittier way when you have a young, confident team to go out there and bust their ass, and you need a kicker to go out there and close it out for you. And he can't do it. I hope he proves me wrong, but my confidence level with Cody Parkey is definitely wait and see. I got to see what he's doing in November and December when the game is on the line in Soldier Field, when that wind is swirling, and that is as much grief as we gave Robbie Gould. And I've never been a big Gould fan. I think he talks way too much for a kicker.
Shut your mouth.
Yeah, exactly. Robbie had those crazy wins figured out, and I don't know. Cody Parkey, hopefully he can make me a believer, but I think it's something that's very underlooked, and it's really not mentioned whatsoever when they're talking. You know, they talk about Mitch Trubisky, they talk about, the wide receivers, and can the defense ascend? Well, let's not forget about special teams. I know I always bring it up, but
Shayne is telling the truth because he's texted me numerous.
Yeah,
I don't know about this Parkey guy, Phil. I'm nervous about this Parkey. All I don't want to see, Shayne, is another holy Moses.
Yeah.
Remember that shanking Barth? Shanking Barth.
Yeah, we do not need
son still sings.
Lighting up that Soldier Field on a perfect sunny day. The snap is down, the kick is up, and Barth shanked it away. Ryan Pace brought no competition. We all knew this wasn't right. He missed a kick that's critical on another Monday night. Oh, shanking Barth, shanking left or right. Never fun to have a kicker who can't put it through the uprights. Oh,
we interrupt this Bears Barroom radio broadcast to bring you breaking news. See, we got news on the wire. Breaking news. Breaking news.
Well, Shayne, according to Lauren Cox over at Bears Wire, Robbie Gould says the 49ers locker room is better than any year with the Bears anyway.
Fucking Robbie still can't shut up, can he?
That's just a classic case of Robbie thinking, he's trying to, pour salt in the wounds and think that we actually fucking got. Robbie Gould, you can bag on Ryan Pace all you want. Robbie Gould was released for a fucking reason because he was inconsistent when he was released. He wasn't striking the ball cleanly. He was missing field goals. He was gone for a reason. And yes, let's not forget, he didn't go from Chicago to San Francisco. He went from Chicago to New York. they didn't want him back in New York either.
Mm-hmm.
So he went out there, and hey, good for Robbie. He's playing in a stadium that it's a better environment and all that, and he's hitting the. He beat the Bears. He was the only guy that scored for San Francisco last year. But fuck you, Robbie.
Yeah,
nothing worse than a kicker that likes to talk too much.
I echo that. That guy, Robbie Gould, he got comfortable here in Chicago. He missed some big kicks, and then when he talked about it to the media, it almost sounded like he didn't care. He had this kind of attitude, yeah, you missed some and so forth. It was like, dude, take this a little bit more seriously. I know you're playing for a fucked up team, but we're still playing out there to win. I love how Phil always says, play to win. And I'm going to find that drop, and I'm going to lay it right there because
I'm a fucking competitor. I want to win.
Robbie wasn't playing to win. He missed key kicks, and he behaved like it was not a big deal. He should have been fucking crying and begging for his job and shown that he wanted to be here as a Chicago Bear, but he didn't have that. And then when he comes to Chicago at Soldier Field, and he gets lucky and knocks down those 5 field goals to win the game, he then turns to the sideline and he gives it to the Bears. Fuck you, Robbie Gould. I echo what Shayne just said.
You got a big mouth.
The best part about Robbie Gould is when he was pitching for the Cubs just a couple weeks ago, he was talking wonderful things about being back in Chicago.
Yeah, because he was in Chicago. Yeah, exactly.
We don't forget, Robbie. We don't forget.
How good did he do in Minnesota on second down the day that his baby was born, and Mark Trestman called for the field goal kicker on second down? Missed that fucking kick.
Yep. All right, let's move on with Phil's Bear-Up player. This is the segment of the show that I'm most waiting for. I want to hear who you guys think is going to perform above expectations in training camp. Phil, we begin with you.
I kind of have given you my cards here because there's 2 guys that I think, and Trubisky is one of them. I just think that he's gotten a bad rap. You're talking about the National Click Marathon Award winners this year, and Colin Cowherd, Jason Lacanfora, Shayne's boy. All the critics come out in trying to rationalize what his stats say last season instead of analyzing what the tape said, as well as the personnel and the coaching staff surrounding him. A young quarterback needs a lot of coaching and a lot of people to step up. And, you got guys like Josh Bellamy dropping balls in critical third down situations. You got an asinine head coach who didn't open competition in training camp when it was clear to everybody, including the shake maker that Mitch loves at Halisol Rosa or whatever the heck her name was. So George the shake George. So
sorry, George.
Sorry, George. Fucking George.
Rosa. Not even close.
Just a bit outside.
Man.
What I'm saying.
Talking about missing the field goal. Holy shit.
Holy Moses. But seriously, there was nothing supporting this player, and for analysts or wannabe phony analyzing people out there, I don't even know what to call these frauds that don't do it the right way, can't recognize the marriage with the system and the talents that Trubisky has. So I think Mitchell is the perfect fit for this philosophy of football and what they're going to ask their quarterback to do. I think he is going to shock a lot of people come opening weekend, that in Lambeau Field, I really think things are going to be rolling and the hype train's going to be brewing in the preseason. I think this football player is going to be something special. And I think the marriage between the coach and the quarterback, that is very important, that's often overlooked. It's perfect here. And I'm excited about his progression through this offseason. It has been awesome to hear these culmination stories from Bleacher Report and Tyler Dunn, and getting these stories. Obviously, I probably won't listen to Rich Campbell and company, so I'll just take your word for it. But I think the excitement's there, but the talent fits what the Bears need and want to do, and I think he's going to shut up a lot of these critics. In fact, there's going to be a lot of bandwagon jumpers, flip-floppers we call them, and the flip-flops I know were in abundance in Cuba on the beach. So they're going to be all over the fucking place on the football sphere, and Bears Barroom, I believe, has had it first and foremost, and we stand by what we say. And if I'm wrong, I'll be the first guy to take a beating, as I always will, anytime, anywhere. But this is about doing the right thing, and I think he is the right one.
He's a beer bar washer.
All right, Shayne, the smartest man. Who's your Bear-Up player?
Again, I was deciding between two players, one on offense, one on defense, and some guy that's kind of flying under the radar that I've heard some good things about this offseason, surprisingly enough, is Deon Bush, but that's not my guy that I'm going with. And I'm going to go with a guy that has humongous expectations, and I think he's going to exceed them this year, and that's tight end Trey Burton.
Yeah.
He is, you guys know I talked about it early on in the offseason. That was one of my guys that I was hoping that the Bears would target and bring in. And it sounds like Nagy and Pace were, trying to lock him in on the plane after they hired Nagy. And he's just the guy, if there's a perfect fit for this offense that we're running, that is the guy, Trey Burton. He, people can talk about why he didn't produce much in Philly, but he was behind one of the best tight ends in the league in Zach Ertz, and they also had Brett Selleck there. So he was actually the third tight end in Philly, and he's just, this is his time. He's got the big contract. He's going to be the number one guy in an offense that's going to feature him, and I think he's going to lead the Bears in receptions this year. And I have a great feeling about this guy being really the Mitch's go-to guy that's going to get us in and out of trouble and create so many mismatches as at that U tight end position. That's and what I alluded to before. What we're not used to with the Bears is having this. Yes, they're all unproven, but you're talking about Tariq Cohen, he can create mismatches. Even Jordan Howard, he can. Allen Robinson, Taylor Gabriel, and Anthony Miller, and now Trey Burton, Adam Shaheen. These are all these guys that are at our disposal. And Trey Burton, I think, is just gonna, he's gonna live up to the hype. He's gonna live up to his contract, and I think he's going to exceed expectations if that's even possible. I know that's a pretty lofty goal, but I believe in the guy that much that he's going to really eat this year, and I can't wait to see it.
I sent out on our Bears Barroom Twitter account a highlight package that was produced on Trey Burton when he was with the Eagles and his game on Monday Night Football against the Bears 2 seasons ago. And he had an excellent game against the Bears. He was lined up wide and caught passes. He was lined up at the line of scrimmage in close with the linemen and caught passes. He caught a little screen 1 yard out for a touchdown. I mean, the guy was doing it all, and it was just a prelude to what he's going to be doing with the Chicago Bears on a more frequent basis. So, yeah, I am really, really excited about Trey Burton being a Chicago Bear, and I'm also excited about this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's a mastermind, but if he gets pissed, he'll go postal. He wipes his ass with 1970 articles by Greg Rosenthal. He's the smartest man. in the bar room.
Well
this
done.
is your worst tweet.
Very well done. Very well done.
Not bad, Filbert.
And
dude, I was writing it while we were in the 8-minute intro. I swear to God.
It's been so long since I've done one of these. We're on the 1-in-1 format too now, right?
That is correct. One bad tweet, one good tweet.
Well, if you've got two, because it's been 2 weeks hiatus, give them two.
Can we get a little Air Jer vote? I would like to.
Air Jers, I've heard the Air Jers pissed that you butchered the Charlie Daniels song.
A baloney pony.
Baloney pony. Yes. He's got a drop.
Bear Jer has a drop. And actually, I've got a really long one here, but we're trying to keep the show short, so I'll save that one, Air Jer, for our next show. Go ahead, Shayne. Hey, if you're listening to the show for the first time, this is the part of the show where Shayne introduces a bad tweet, a tweeter that really made a fool out of himself by tweeting something out really moronic, and then later we'll hear the good one. But first, it's the bad one. Go ahead, Shayne.
I think you guys probably know where I'm going with this one. Phil kind of alluded to it in his musical open to my segment here, and that's to Greg Rosenthal. Greg didn't send out the tweet directly, but it kind of went viral on Twitter yesterday when he made the comment on Jordan Howard. He has him ranked as the 15th best running back in the NFL. And Rosenthal says, Howard is in the wrong era. As a traditional gliding power back without great receiving skills, it's easy to imagine Jordan Howard playing as a star in the 1970s. And this just goes... Yeah, is right. I made the comment on Twitter last night. I wish, Rosenthal was writing in the 70s, so I didn't have to read his bullshit today.
You had some tweets, kid, yesterday.
Yeah.
Stat tweets, joke tweets.
This goes back to the, Mr. Underrated that Phil did such a good job with, and the disrespect that this kid gets week in and week out from people is just, this whole elite label as a running back. I don't give a fuck about who gives a shit. If you're an elite running, you're either a good running back or you're not a good running back. Elite running backs they don't win Super Bowls. They don't. We went over this with Kaplan, with Mike North and everybody. You can win a Super Bowl with Jordan Howard. You're saying that he would benefit by playing in the 1970s, yet in 2016, he was second in the NFL, in the entire league in rushing. In 2017, he was, sixth overall in rushing. In 2018, and you're saying that he would be better. He would be better suited in 1970. It doesn't make any sense. And this kid, look where he came from. He came from starting out at UAB, and then that college program folds up, and he transfers to Indiana. He does fantastic there. He falls in the draft with his ankle injury, and he comes in as a fifth rounder, second in the league in rushing, and doesn't start until week 4. People nationally and within Chicago should be praising this kid every single day for what he's done in the league as a fifth-round draft pick, and he's completely disrespected. You think Jordan Howard, if he was putting up these numbers and was the running back for the Green Bay Packers, the Packers are playing a wide receiver at running back, and he gets more respect than Jordan Howard does, and that's the fucking truth. Jay Ajayi, he's played for 2 teams, and he gets more respect nationally than Jordan Howard does. It just, the more and more I read it, the more and more it pisses me off. But when I kind of step out of the little bubble and look at it, hopefully it's driving him. Hopefully he sees that and it motivates him even more. Hopefully Mitch sees that and it motivates him more. The offensive line, I hope Kyle Long sees that and it pisses him off and it makes him want to block that much harder for Jordan Howard when he sees it. So it's a shitty tweet, shitty thought by Greg Rosenthal, but hopefully it inspires this young team to rally around this kid and to put him up on the pedestal that he deserves to be put up on. I throw the elite shit out the window. That's for fantasy football owners and Madden players. He's a very good running back, and that's all that matters.
I think because it isn't pretty and the team isn't winning, Shayne, you hit it out of the park yesterday, dropping those stats, let alone. I know Scar tagged me in this thing, and it got me fucking amped. If you weren't on my timeline with me and then Shayne coming in, it was like a fucking ultimate death match in the WWF back in the day. We were just fucking going off the top ropes. And, of course, Greg Rosenthal, cowered and didn't even respond. And I even asked him to come on this show and defend this bullshit. But the utter definition of a running back, they're redefining it based on fantasy football, Aldo. And I know we get into it, and you're guilty of it too, Aldo. If I'm being 100, you want a versatile. And when I look at this guy and what the running back position needs, as Shayne is saying, what Shayne means this guy can win a Super Bowl is that he can be the bell cow, or like I said in the beginning, the sauce of your team to get the running game going. And when you see what he does, innate ability and instincts within the hole, and the field to cut back and break tackles and be quicker than you or a defense imagines. And he's getting into the secondary. So you look at his stats, you can't argue it. You're trying to redefine for highlights on SportsCenter. To me, Shayne's right. If this kid was playing in Detroit or Green Bay, as he said, this kid would be talked about as an elite back. Let's not get it fooled. Because the Bears haven't won, he's not getting his due. And that's what this show is fucking for. And that's what we wanted in this, because our rite of passage is the truth. And I will not promote a guy like Mike Burton because he's a Bear. He sucks. I will tell you that. If a guy is this good as Akeem Hicks or Adrian Amos or Jordan Howard, I'm going to make sure in my heart of hearts that it's going to be promoted out there. And I trust, like I said on Bears Hour Live, Shayne Marshall 100%. Some of the stats, Shayne, you threw out there on this kid totally backs up what they're quoting as elite. He's done the most 100-yard games in the NFL since 2016. Is that an elite back? He's got the most.
Yeah, he's tied.
You want your running back? What do you want your running back for?
He's got 12 of them. He's tied with Zeke Elliott. 12 100-yard games. Yeah.
They give him it's like that kid that gets a pass that you've all been in high school. So that one fucking kid, you want to punch him right in the fucking face. Pretty boy, gets everything. His parents are rich. The teachers pass him by. He can cheat on a test, get caught, gets nothing. You get suspended.
I know him.
That's Ezekiel Elliott. Just gets a pass. Beat his girlfriend. Doesn't matter. Gets a pass. Was suspended. He's elite. Well, you look at Jordan Howard's numbers, as Shayne said, 52 receptions to 58 receptions. Most 100-yard games, Jordan didn't get to start because a coach didn't see it. So, totally agree with this. I know we're going to keep it short, but I was just proud of Shayne and Scar and company battling and pushing back to the rhetoric and the narrative that Jordan Howard, as Shayne said, elite. What the fuck is elite? This kid's gonna dominate. Put in the Pittsburgh game. He beat the whole AFC North.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that, because that Pittsburgh game, he had 23 carries for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns. One of those touchdowns was this game-winning romp.
Howard left side to the 10. To the 5. Game over.
Exactly.
Because and it doesn't matter what era, when you run like that, it doesn't matter if it's the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 90s, 100 years from now, you got a running back and you ride that motherfucker to victory, just like you did against the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right. Unbelievable. What a fucking idiot.
Idiots.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. What happened to the music? Yeah.
You don't hear it?
He's a bad.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You want to do it again?
Yeah, let's do it again.
Yeah, you can hear it, but when you talk, you lose it.
Oh, really? Okay, I'm sorry. All right.
It's not your fault.
Fucking $5 equipment shit.
Five Below.
We mean the sponsor. Sponsors.
We get Five Below as a sponsor.
We move ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Fucked up Charlie Daniels, yeah.
He's a bad boy. Bad boy. But don't ask what you gonna do. He'll rip Lacamfora, Perez, Lemming, Miller, or whoever it takes on the show 100 Proof. He's the smartest man in the bar room.
Very nice. Very, very, very nice. All right, Shayne, there had to be a good tweet in the time that we were away, and what was it?
Well, there's two that kind of go hand in hand here.
Hey,
and
good.
Yeah, so they're both about our new big money wide receiver, Allen Robinson. And, you talk about the disrespect card with Jordan Howard. I think Allen Robinson kind of falls into that category. Also, I made the comment, everybody, whenever somebody talks about Allen Robinson, it's always, Pace invested all this money, but he's got he's coming off a torn ACL. That's a huge risk. But then,
Jordy Nelson.
Yeah, you turn to Minnesota and they're like, oh man, they're getting Dalvin Cook back this year. That kid's gonna eat. Nobody talks about him coming off a torn ACL. It seems like there's I don't know. Seems like they have something against Chicago, but like Phil says, it just comes down to winning football games, and the Bears haven't done enough of that. But Allen Robinson tweeted out, "These last 10 months have been the greatest experience that I've had, being tested in all facets of my life. I was tested and I passed that test. Praise to the Most High, camp number 5. Let's get it, Chicago." And, the tweet that goes along with that is, it says, despite catching just one reception last season, Allen Robinson still ranks 9th in the NFL with 53 deep receptions since 2015. So he essentially, he missed everything last year, minus 3 plays, and he's still within the top 10 with 53 deep receptions. It's really just kind of alluding back to what I've been talking about this entire show with all of this talent that we've accumulated this offseason. It's kind of easy to forget, Allen Robinson is still a 24-year-old guy, He
was a marquee signing, too.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He's younger than Kevin White. Anthony Miller is 23 years old. Allen Robinson's 24. And you think about that, it's kind of easy, as good as he is and as much money as he's making, it's really kind of easy to sleep on the guy. Mm-hmm. I talked about Trey Burton. Guys like him can even overshadow Allen Robinson a little bit. And he's that guy. If you like Alshon, he's that big body guy that, I think he's more explosive, more agile than Alshon, but he also gives you that post-up ability that Alshon would give you, where you could go up and kind of like when you're, rebounding a basketball, you can body the guy up and go up and get those jump balls. But I like seeing him say that this was the this was the best thing that he went through, because I think it makes him recommit to the game of football. He got it taken away from him, and he, realizes how important it is to him. And, Chicago showed that faith in him by bringing him here, opening up the vault and giving him all that money. And I just like to see him talking about that hard work and what it does mean to him, because I really do. I think Trey Burton's going to lead this team in receptions. Allen Robinson could lead this team in yards, at the end of the day. And I think this kid's going to be a difference maker. It's just another guy that I just have a real good feeling on. I know Mike North wasn't very big on the signing, and thought we should have focused on Jordy Nelson and kept Cam Meredith. But I'm perfectly fine with Allen Robinson, 24 years old and still has all that upside, yet he's still proven in the league that he can go out and dominate in with a 1,400-yard season and a 14 touchdown season. So I like to see that. I think he's focused. I think he's ready to go. And I think there's big things in store for number 12 this year in Chicago.
I think it's funny. It's very telling that not a lot of people are talking about that football player and his addition to the football team. When you look back on free agency and the nerves and, maybe we'll call it our first or Christmas Eve of the football season, where the draft is Christmas Day or morning, getting those players, the anxiety of who the Bears were going to sign at wide receiver, because we knew it was such a big need and to help Mitch Trubisky. And then Allen Robinson's the guy. And as Shayne is pointing out, other players that are returning, including Jordy Nelson from injury, are being called upon as a given or a layup. A kid from the Vikings as well, in a position where your knees are more, structured and could be hurt more readily in regards to a running back. So having this kid come back as a Bear to give you that deep ball ability and that explosiveness, that high point catcher, I think a lot of people are sleeping on who Allen Robinson is. It just coincidentally came up on my timeline this afternoon. Some of these blogger, Twitter, draft nicks putting their top 20 receivers in the NFL out there on Twitter. And I was just looking to see if any of them had the wherewithal to put Robinson in there, and he was absent. So to me, here's another guy, going back to Bears ups and Bears that I think is going to come in and prove a lot of people like, oh shit, I should have drafted him in my fantasy draft a couple weeks ago, because look what he's doing. And this is the kind of football player the Bears and this offense, as well as Mitch Trubisky, needs. A guy that makes big plays, and it is a guy that loves the game.
Yeah.
There it is.
Barroom, 100 proof. Steak and whiskey. The Bears Barroom vibe just hits me. Steak and whiskey. That Bears Barroom vibe just hits me. Steak and whiskey. That Bears Barroom vibe just hits me. Steak and whiskey. That Bears Barroom vibe just
Dicks get hard and pussies get wet when this man enters a room. His name is Al. I don't know about the dicks getting hard. I know.
Hey man, you know what? I don't know how I feel about that, man.
You know, Trey, seriously, my pussy's so wet for you right now.
Man, that was. I don't think about another man dick getting hard for me, man.
Have you ever had a a homosexual man come up to you and flirt with you, Trey?
Never.
He did. He asked him how he grows his beard out like that,
right? No. Okay, so that story, man. We was playing basketball. This is like the guy's like a younger guy, man. He's probably like 20 or something, so he don't know no better. He don't know etiquette about manhood. So cause he's like 20, 21 years old. He walks up to me. It was an honest question. He's like, hey, man, how'd you get your beard to grow? He wasn't trying to hit on me, man. He was like a younger guy, man. Come on. Yeah. He thought I had some type of secret or something. Like, I eat black beans every night.
Blue Chew.
You take some Blue Chew, you get hairs on your chest, you get a beard, and your dick stays hard a long time.
Hey, I just put in an order from Amazon for Trey. You're going to be receiving a gaydar machine.
Hey, the guy was like, he was like, you could tell on his face he was dead serious though. He really thought I had like some type of scientific like answer or something.
You felt
like, what's the secret? Oh, whiskey.
What's the secret? Was his name AJ by chance?
Wow!
Blocked. You're blocked.
This dude blocked us, man.
Yeah, we're blocked.
Blocks and Quentin Nelson.
Can we have a segment on soccer tonight so we can make it?
I don't know how BG got blocked. I never see BG interact with him.
I'm blocked by people I don't interact with. That's the best part because I associate with you people.
Yeah. He blocked me because I called him a fucking moron, which he is.
Yeah! Good answer.
So, I mean, if you're willing to give up a starting offensive guard and a second round pick to go grab another offensive guard, you're a fucking moron.
Brilliant. Yep.
Hey, man. Some people are so sensitive.
He's going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
What?
Fucker sounds like Aldo Gandia, that fucking ass.
Aldo never traded up.
No.
You went to the spring game and got the autograph from last year, didn't you? Him and McGlinchey.
That's right.
The Notre Dame spring game.
That's right. Trey, how you been, man?
Man, it's been a long. I don't know how long it's been. It's been long though. When was the last time we were on? Like 3 weeks ago?
3 weeks ago, yeah.
2 weeks.
3.
2 weeks was it? It feels like 3, but
it feels like
it's 3.
It feels like
3 weeks for Bears Are Alive, 2 weeks for 100.
That's true.
Oh, yeah. It feels like it's been longer than that, man. You know, this summer
it's the shy.
It's been kind of slow, man.
How psyched are you for this 2018 football season, Trey?
Man, I've been waiting for this shit since the day the fucking season ended.
Yeah, I hear you. That's the best answer.
Hours now, 12,000 more hours till the season gets up.
Yeah.
1,000 hours.
The clock.
He's got an app.
90,000 minutes until it kicks off again.
Gotta get through soccer.
Because we knew that was going to revamp everything, man. We knew the coaching staff was gone. We knew Mitch was going to actually have like weapons around him. We didn't know who he was going to have, but we knew they were going to try to fix everything. Pace is going to fix everything, at least try to. So that's why we was looking forward to it. As soon as Fox ass was gone, we was like, "Thank you, Jesus."
Thank you, Lord.
Black Monday was the best day ever.
Yeah.
Trey has such a positive energy. It's like walking down the street. Trey's like, we knew it was going to happen.
Mm-hmm. We did.
Now I don't know who I should go to if I want to place a bet, Trey or Mike North. I gotta decide because you both carry this vibe of confidence that I absolutely love.
Man, you kick that down the Fire John Fox song started up though. Everybody, man, that shit spread like wild. That shit spread like wildfire, man.
Don't tell Shayne that. She'll get upset.
It did though. Shayne, you
got video.
That shit did though. That shit did spread like wildfire.
Oh yeah, I just guess I was pissed about the music that came from it.
I have video of Shayne and his son dancing and jamming out to it.
Yeah.
I got to tell you that Trey probably came up with one of the best sound bites from Bears barroom history when he said that Ryan Pace was a great American hero for the free agency.
I was fucking wasted. That was the first day of free agency, and so when we snagged Allen Robinson that night. Then we got Taylor Gabriel too that same day, I believe, and Burton. Was that all the same day, right?
Kicker, kicker too.
Yeah.
You mentioned it, that day. So yeah, it was. It was a great.
I was fucking
day.
wasted on the roof. We had a live 100 proof, and I was fucking wasted, man.
Yeah, Trey and I were exchanging text messages at like 2:30 in the morning.
Dude, like Shayne was blowing me up. He's like, fucking, we got him. Allen Robinson's here. I wake up at like 3. I had like so many missed notifications. There was people on Twitter congratulating me and shit. Like, man, congratulations to y'all. I'm like, what the fuck happened? Now look, it's you know what I'm saying? Why they congratulating me? Like, what the fuck? And he's like,
you gotta get Allen on here.
Dude, man, every now and then he seemed like he interacted.
You were the fucking parade leader.
Yeah.
Dude.
You were that guy with the hat and the baton with the high kicks.
I was for Allen Robinson, like how Aldo was for Quentin Nelson. All the difference is we actually got him. No, you guys remember like
the confidence about this.
Last summer, man, we was talking about like fucking he's at training camp frustrated with Blake Bortles because Blake Bortles doesn't know how to fucking play some football at all. He's throwing it out of bounds and shit.
Yeah.
And Robinson's like, fucking keep it in bounds, bro. He's mad as hell. It's like, yeah, he don't want to stay there. Why don't you come play with Mitch? He throw the football right where you want it. While you can still run with it.
Alec Lifschultz, Trey Busy, also known as Trey Busy, he comes to us at bearsbarroom.com with his written word where he provides keen analysis about the Bears' play, about the Bears' needs, about the Bears' doings, and then he joins us every Bears 100 Proof with his segment that we call Steak and Whiskey. It was born out of a chat that we were having when he said that a particular media person needed some pussy in order to get his act together. And so we made it a regular feature here. And when I play this music, that's Trey's cue to tell us who needs some PUSSSSSSY.
All right. This is kind of like, I mean, this is new. I'm not sure if BG broke it before I got on or not, man. But I feel bad. You know, this is not like, I'm going to go to my segment, but Jeff Dickerson's walking away from ESPN. So I feel really bad. You know, he's talking about his Ellen White, man. It's like, dude, you know, this is one of our old punching bags. I feel bad. Like with the thing with Matt Miller, same thing with him. When he had his thing with his friend died, you know, you know, you just hope, you know, people. We don't miss nothing bad on anybody at the Bears bar room. So to hear that happen, it's like, man, like, you know, he loves football or whatever because he covers it, you know, but to step away from his dream job, you know, take care of his son. You know, I just, you know, wish the best to him and his family.
Absolutely. Very well said. We just saw that break on Twitter, too. It was shared to us by Little Nicky. And Bears Grl was going to mention it, but I'm glad that you did because, yeah, he has been a punching bag for us here at Bears Barroom. It's no disrespect to him. We just disagreed with what he said and wrote, but we, you know, that's second to what he's going through personally. We wish him nothing but the best for him and his family, and hopefully you'll be back on the job sometime and we can fuck with you again in the future.
So everything seems to come full circle in this world, man. One of the guys, I think the Bears blog. everything comes full circle in this world, man.
Here's our next round of blocking.
I need a sound effect for that.
We had a huge, like, I want to say, quote unquote, debate in the chat, the Bears Barroom chat, saying how rookies struggle in the NFL.
All rookies, Trey. All rookies.
That has to be the most absurd thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Like, some guys hit the ground and just start running. They just look like they belong. They look like they're better than everybody on the field sometimes. Like Leonard Fournette is like this past season. This dude never looked like he struggled at all. Every time he touched the football, this motherfucker's out there looking like a hybrid mix between Adrian Peterson and fucking goddamn Marshawn Lynch, just running through people, just throwing everybody out the way, challenging people to tackle him, getting 3 touchdowns in fucking playoff games and shit. Like, he never struggled when he was on the field at all. So, I people have different opinions, man, but you can't. Come on, man. What type of shit is that? All rookies struggle. What's the point of having offensive rookie of the year and defensive rookie of the year if that's the case?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember one Randy Moss not having any fucking trouble in his rookie year. That guy was sensational. Barry Sanders. Jesus Christ, that guy really said that, huh?
Look, even our boy. When did Jordan Howard struggle?
I hear you. He struggled with his coach.
Our boy, look, as soon as they start getting him carries, that motherfucker was just taking off every game.
You gotta wonder.
What do you say, Otto?
I was gonna say you gotta wonder in practice when Jordan Howard would get his practice reps if Coach John Fox and Dow Loggins had to go use the washroom or something, and they never bothered to look at the film because clearly Jordan Howard was doing this in practice too. I mean, Jesus.
Oh my God.
Think about that. 2 years ago, our top two running backs were Jeremy Langford and Kadeem Carey.
Oh, yeah.
Think about that.
Mm-hmm. Two guys who had talent and heart, but they just, were not going to be guys that you can hang your hat on. That's for sure.
They don't have that it factor like Jordan Howard does, man.
You got it.
He just has it. Like, as soon as he gets the football, he just runs with confidence, man.
The thing about Howard, too, that we never really talk about is that he's 200, almost 240. And have you looked at that picture of him, someone photoshopped with Walter Payton next to him?
Yeah, that's
you
nice.
Look at the size of him. Like, you don't get an understanding. And let me say something. When you have 7 in the box and that linebacker is coming up and having to meet him at full speed, it starts taking its toll on a defense. And any football player who's ever played will tell you, give me that jitterbug. They're hard to catch. I'm going to tackle them. You give me that 235-pounder in the fourth quarter coming at you just as hard, it ain't gonna. It's not fun.
Greg Rosenthal said, "Give me Kenyon Drake."
But that's got. I don't understand how Jordan Howard gets that kind of disrespect, man. I really don't. Like, if this was the 70s, he would be a great running back. What?
He is now.
What the
2018.
Fuck? He's fucking second in the league his rookie year, man, in rushing yards. Like, what the fuck?
And you know what? He's 23 years old. That's something that's not talked about either. He's 23.
I can't wait to see him. Like, I've missed seeing him on the football field.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see what he does.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. A couple of his drop passes, the fucking football's behind him, but they don't talk about that though.
Yeah, I talk about it.
Hey, I know you do, Phil. but those dudes with the fucking pimples and glasses and shit.
Those dudes who need steak and whiskey.
Yeah, right.
The motherfuckers be saying, "Oh, well, Jordan Howard has a couple bad drops." Well, yeah, they had a couple fucking passes right behind them. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What was the other thing the blog said, Shayne?
God.
He didn't know that Roquan Smith had not signed his.
Didn't even realize it.
Whoops.
Sign up to the Bears blog newsletter for all the Bears breaking news.
Exactly.
I guess I'm not going to apply for a job there.
Yeah.
Talk about needing some fucking pussy.
Yeah.
This guy's distracted by the new fucking Zelda or some shit that came out. Nintendo came out.
That's been playing fucking Fortnite and shit.
Yeah. Hold on till you get the new fucking handheld Game Boy Return.
Yeah. Put on your orange pants and let's get fucking crazy.
Imagine somebody writing a blog in July of 2018 saying it's very important that Mitch Trubisky has a good season next year.
No shit.
Yeah, good observation, buddy.
Not sure if you guys realize this or not.
Captain Obvious.
Thank you for your infinite wisdom.
I was reviewing some tape from last year, and Tariq Cohen is explosive. I don't know if you guys know that or not.
He's an absolute. He's possibly a good fit.
Yeah.
This offense show.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
That's terrible. And then people eat that shit up too. That's the thing about it.
Yeah.
Well, the best part about people eating that shit up is we all may be blocked, but those people eating that will absolutely feed us that content.
That's right.
Single day.
Hey, I'm not blocked by the Bears blog.
I'm not blocked by them yet, but I will. I mean, it's only time.
No, we've never been blocked. I could give him credit that he hasn't blocked Bears Barroom or myself or Shayne. Forgot. Trey thinks I get into arguments. Shayne's the blocker.
He did want $150 to come on Bears Barroom show.
No, that was his boy.
Yeah, the other one, right?
What's his name?
Oh, come on! You put him in a song, really?
Danahy, thank you.
Yeah. Is he even around anymore?
Bears
oh, wait, I'm blocked. Yeah, I
and
forgot.
his sister, Andy Danahy. See him on Twitter? Not too badly.
I tell you what, though, they also must be blocked by the damn Bears because that shit they be tweeting out like it's brand new news we've been knowing about for 2 years.
Well, we literally had Kyle Long on here talking about his recovery and his injuries and stuff, and 2 months later, people are publishing stories. Kyle Long just came out and said, "I'm like, what the fuck?" We talked about him face to face.
Wait, what year is it?
A great point about that.
What day is it again?
Yeah, I'm not going to share that publicly because I'll start to fucking get all pissed off. It's all right. It's all right.
He puts you on the spot, man.
Group them in the others and move on.
Yeah. Trey, I wanted to ask you posted on Twitter some video of a Jordan Howard, what's the word, doppelganger?
Doppelganger.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you met him. I was all hyped.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was really Jordan Howard.
And then I'm like, that's not him.
But you guys, I mean, you can tell I was being sarcastic how he was laughing.
Yeah. Right.
That's my boy I went to high school with, man. Graduated with him. His name is Josh. And dude, he looks exactly like Jordan Howard. This shit is crazy.
That was pretty funny.
But we ain't know shit about Jordan Howard 10 years ago. So
right.
You know, it's like I run into him, I'm like, oh shit, bro, you look like fucking Jordan Howard.
Oh shit, I forgot about you. Yeah. You look just like Jordan Howard.
Threw him a beer. He fucking dropped it. Right.
I threw it a little bit behind him though. So.
Yes.
He was going east. I threw it west.
Yahoo put up that thing where Jordan actually, made a joke of himself. Did you guys see that?
No, I missed that.
You missed that?
Yeah.
They have a video. Someone threw him a football. He catches it, and he said, what did he say exactly?
Yeah, it was for fantasy football.
Fantasy guys, I've been working on these hands or something like
nice.
that.
Yeah,
nice.
See, I can catch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I gotta stop reading the Bears blog. I'm behind that stuff.
Well, you'll get that news in September.
I'll get it in September. Okay, after the fantasy
Don't
draft.
worry, we'll see a video on Twitter, right? Like when the season starts and shit.
Yeah.
After game one.
I gotta ask you. I've been waiting to ask this family, this group here. I love Jonathan Wood. We've invited him on BHL to defend.
Mm-hmm.
But was anybody else, or is it just me? And because I didn't read the article, the tone was first positive, then it was negative, but then it was positive. Did you guys all see that too? Like, which side were you on? Like,
covering all bases.
Yeah, it's like he wanted to draw you in with negativity, and then he jerked you off a little bit, and then at the end he fucking, you know what I mean?
Wait, was that Susie Q from
right.
1992 at my prom?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
She jerks you off then and starts talking about commitment.
Commitment. She wants a full-on family.
So
how many kids she wanted.
Get me off so I can go home.
So Phil, this was a Jonathan Wood story at thebearsblog.com. That what was the story about?
Well, first, the only reason why I'm bringing it up is he tagged David Kaplan in it in such a thirsty way.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So it was like, I'm on your side, Dave. So he had heard the show, or clearly has heard the show, but obviously knows David's stance. But we tackled this situation, and it promoted throughout Twitter that David was on, yada, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. Then he tags him in, and BG pointed it out, like thirsty fucking whore. Tagging David, I'm on your side about Jordan Howard, something that he can't catch. But then like 2 days later, after Trey, all of us were like, and BG put it to the test, like, get him on the show, defend this fucking stance, because I go with Phil, one-on-one. You know, you're my friend, but I'm going to keep it 100 always. And then he backed out of that. He was too busy, but he's on Twitter all day, as Nelson would say. Our boy Nelson, shout out to him. But anyway, then 2 days later, it's like a positive vibe on Jordan's better than you think he is. So it's what Shayne said, and I just had the question because, you know, this is what we do here on this show. You write, you talk, you say you're an analyst or a writer, whatever you are, we're going to talk about it. And to me, like, the foundation of what you believe is there, of what you are saying. That's it. Tomorrow, Phil Toshin's not going to go on, you know, the Mike North show or ESPN or wherever on another podcast and say, you know, Jordan Howard, I'm a little concerned of how he's going to perform. You're never going to hear that from me. Whatever I believe, I'm going to share, and that's going to be consistent. And that's how you should follow people that are analysts, and the formation of their thought is based on the tape, and that alone. The stats support what you see, but the tape is the God of all. If it was a church, it would be the Bible. So to me, you look at these things, and it just bothered me because I was like, wait, am I going to debate a guy that's agreeing with me? Right. I didn't get what the heck you're talking about. Now he's great. So that was just disturbing to me.
Yeah, and it's okay for people to change their minds. You know, you get new information or somebody tells you something and you go, oh, you're right. You know, I get it and so forth. But you got to, you know, lay it all out there and say I was wrong, or, you know, I got new information and that's led me to believe this way or something about it. But to, you know, approach a certain topic and just try to cover all your bases, you know, from A to Z, because I want to make sure I got a tweet out there that says I said the opposite of what I said over there.
Exactly.
That doesn't make any sense to me. All right, listen to this.
Exactly.
That is our closing music. We wanted to try to make this a 2-hour show. We were unsuccessful. Trey Busy joined us. We got some great material from him. We got some great tweets from Shayne. We got breaking news from Bears Grl. Bears Grl, you got one more story to give us before we say goodbye. You got something about Charles Leno?
I do. Charles Leno Jr. tweeted out a couple hours ago, quote, while I was driving, I saw a Bears bus that was stopped on the side of the road. As I passed it, I thought to myself, the Bears bus is not breaking down this year. So I turned back around to check out what was going on. We're fully gassed up heading into campus here. And he posted a photo of this busted, beat down bus that he was able to get gas for and help along the way.
That's awesome.
This story continues. The owners of the bus have tweeted it out as well. But there was a follow-up tweet that at Watford54 asked Charles Leno, random question, would you have stopped if it was a Green Bay bus? Charles Leno quote tweeted that and said, is this even a question? No.
Well done, Charles.
I like this guy.
Well done, Charles. And I got a piece of advice for Charles Leno. As soon as camp starts and the season begins, stop being a nice guy.
Yeah.
Everybody is the enemy. Put a chip on your shoulder. I don't want to see what happened to what was his name? Fucking Daffy Duck at the left tackle position who didn't tie his shoes.
Fucking Taco Tuesday.
Yeah.
What the hell is his name?
What the hell's his name?
The kid from Texas.
Exactly. 7th round draft pick.
Jamarcus Webb.
Jamarcus Webb.
Jamarcus Webb. Yes, I don't want. I don't want to see Charles Leno turn it. Jamarcus Webb did not have the aggressive bone in his body to go out there and play NFL football. I mean, and then we learned later they got busted a couple of times for marijuana use, and clearly he was token before going out on the football field. I mean, to forget to tie your shoe, Brandon Marshall is caught on audio saying, "Tie your shoe, bro." I just feel like Charles Leno, don't stop and help anybody anymore. Just go out there and kick people's ass. Leave the Good Samaritan stuff to Shayne and Phil and Trey, and even Bears Grl is capable of doing some nice things once in a while. Leave it to those people, and Charles, go out there and kick some ass.
Yeah, go kick the shit out of Rosa the shake maker or whatever.
Oh my God, George.
And by the
George
way,
on Twitter,
Jamarcus Webb, I'm just guessing that you were high on reefer before Sunday games. I'm only speculating. That was an allegation, not a fact. So please don't sue me, because already we need one lawyer in the house for Phil. We don't need another lawyer in the house for me. All right, we're going to do some shout outs here. And as always, we begin with Draft Dr. Phil. Phil, you got some shout outs for us?
Oh, yeah. I mean, first I want to shout out Shayne.
About fucking time.
For his hard work, his determination, his Air Jer impression.
No, it's really him. That's not me. I have a direct line to Southwest Indiana.
And his Jordan Howard
keep going
tweets. So I wanted to make sure you got a shout out. You've been on a roll, and I'm glad we're back with the family. Bears Grl, she made it out of a communist country alive. We had a bet going. Shayne won again.
She's got a neck tattoo now.
Yeah. A neck tattoo?
Yeah, that's
no,
nice.
You're supposed to. Listen, this is radio. They can't see. You got to give them something to be like, what the fuck's going on?
I am not going along with that story when someone on this show actually does have a tattoo that they will reveal at some point later on.
Yeah, let us see it right now, Gandia. Come on.
You want to see my tattoo?
Don't say it.
I wanted to unveil it in a special way, but oh shit. I got it.
Well, no one on the show. Well, we are a micro podcast.
Oh yeah. Ooh, BG, bring it.
She brought it.
Oh, BG, I fucking hate you. There it is. Hold on. I got my Bears tattoo right there, motherfuckers.
Nice. Made by a Packers fan, right?
That's nice.
That's right.
It actually looks like neon.
Yeah, he did a nice job with that.
Awesome.
Is the A broken?
That would have been funny.
That would have been hilarious. I'm putting together a little video. Putting together a little video of my experience getting my Bears Barroom tattoo. It should be ready in a week or so before the next show. And then you guys can properly bust my balls. Then.
Nikki said he'll have it done by December.
He's going this weekend.
What year? What year?
Yeah.
2020.
Hey, big night for Nikki though. Akeem Hicks followed him on Twitter.
Yeah, nice.
No, he doesn't even follow me. His number one supporter.
Because you've been late in putting that Kyle Long song together, so you have to work on that.
The Kyle Long song is gonna be fun to listen to.
But don't you remember that Akeem Hicks told you that he wanted to collaborate on that?
Yeah, but he didn't send me an airline ticket.
Virtual.
Yeah.
We have to get you over.
He didn't reach out. I had to step up. We're gonna tag Akeem Hicks in the Kyle Long song. I'm very excited about it.
I'm sorry to tell you, he's going to be a little busy right now. So
yeah,
they have time at night.
Yeah, they stare at their phone at night. Yep.
Yeah, trust me.
All the Bears practices are in the morning, right? This year.
Yeah.
Man,
that one night.
They're scrolling. Don't worry, they're scrolling. I want to shout out Brett K. Maley.
Yeah.
Giving us a shout out. I appreciate your kind words, my friend. Bearlissimo. These guys, Ryan Badgley, Chachi.
Speaking of Akeem Hicks, Chachi. All he had to do was tweet that shit out, and it would have been a clean sweep for him this week, but he wouldn't do it.
I know. He didn't do it. He didn't step up in the pocket.
Ronaldo,
my Chachi.
Ronaldo. Michael W. Noss at 34 Sweetness fan. Always supporting the bar room. Bears 100 proof. I want to shout out Jim Larison, Tony Orients.
Yeah, Jim, get your Twitter in line there, buddy.
Lil Nicky Kurtz. I got to shout out Bobby Bombs Phelan for co-writing the Kyle Long song. It is ridiculous. He co-wrote
it with you?
Yes, it's me and him. I perform it because he just couldn't do it. You'll see. Okay. Maybe next week's show we'll bring it out. And yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm not gonna spoil it. Right. And actually 2 more tweets. Ryan Heckman, I want to shout him out.
Oh yeah, my man.
And I gotta piggyback with my boy Trey Busy. I've been very hard on Mr. Jeff Dickerson at times.
I'm glad you finished that sentence. You had a dramatic pause after very hard. I didn't think you were going to say anything more. I'm out of here.
That blue chew alone, man.
His blue chew's finally kicking in.
Very hard.
These are all drops at the same time.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, this is a show of truth, and we just keep it 100 and
no blowing smoke. Drink it up.
I'm not saying that. I saw your fucking tweet. I see EJ. I see you coming in for more, bro. But it is what it is. I'm always gonna be me. And Jeff, I've been hard on you, but as Trey said, to step away from your dream job and to be going through something as difficult as caring for us. You know, I have twin boys and I have 2 daughters. The pain or the worry that you have for your own self pales in comparison to when you have a child. And I know we have a new barfly out there. So as you become a father, to be able to love these kids the way you do, even though they drive you crazy sometimes, it's unbelievable what you are having to do. So I can't say anything but give you my best from my family, myself. I hope you return so we could bang heads at this job. But in life and in the uncertainty of which you're dealing with this, I just definitely wanted to take the time out for the audience and for Jeff to know that I'll be in his corner. I really will. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. It's awful.
Well said. Well said. Let's go over to Trey Busy and see who he wants to give a shout out to.
All right. First off, I'm not going to go as long as Phil, obviously. You know, he talks for about 50 years. I just want to say, you know, if Ryan Pace was trolling us last year with the kicker thing, that's like a masterful troll. Like, how we went through all those kickers, that was just amazing, dude. Like, I'm still stuck on the fact that we had like 3 or 4 kickers last year.
Yeah.
Then we fucking signed Santos, and he never even played. We just put him straight on IR. The whole thing was fucking weird. But, you know, hopefully Cody Parkey He kind of makes me kind of nervous, man, with a name like Cody Parkey.
Yeah, I hear you.
You're gonna like the show.
Is this like a psychic show?
Where's Magoo?
Cleo?
Where's
Magoo?
I'm just, I don't know, man.
You'll
Hopefully
find out.
Yeah. Don't forget, listen to the show tonight, Trey.
There you go.
Don't blow any smoke, Shane.
Nope.
Shane, you got a shout out or two?
Yeah, I'm going to try it switch it up for the new season, and nope, not a fucking one.
That's usually a signal to wrap this fucking show up. But we got Bears Grl, and I got a shout out or two, and then we'll say goodbye. Bears Grl, shout out.
Yeah, let's shout out John Santucci and Nelson on the birth of their baby girls. They both had a baby girl born in the last couple of days.
Together? That's weird. I didn't even know. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, why are you guys going to ruin the nice fucking moments, man? Jesus. Let's also shout out our co-partner, Danny Shimon. He had a loss in his family, so our thoughts and prayers are with you, Danny. And my final shout out goes to the three of you. I left the country for a week. I had very limited Wi-Fi. I wasn't sure what was going to happen. I wasn't sure who you'd get into fights with, what tweets would be sent out, what barflies would be, causing havoc. But you all were really well behaved. So thank you for allowing me to take a vacation.
Only one out of the three of us got sued.
I'm glad she said y'all three were well behaved, because my ass ain't never.
No, I did not include you, Trey. I saw your shit.
I get 0 bucks.
I saw your stuff.
Yeah, Trey is forever the bad boy, and that's one of the reasons we love him so much. I want to shout out some of the members of the national media, guys like Kyle Brandt, Adam Rank. We talked about Tyler Dunn in his article in Bleacher Report. There's been we're always the first to point out the national media who disregard the Chicago Bears, who don't understand the Chicago Bears, who disrespect the Chicago Bears and so forth. But over the last several months, there have been some national media guys, the three that I pointed out, and many others, who have started to talk about the Chicago Bears and the improvements that they've made, and have captured the vibe that exists among diehard Bears fans. And when I say diehard Bears fans, I'm not talking about what Mike North refers to as Bear ball washers. I'm talking about diehard fans who are realistic and have good reason to be optimistic about what's going on with this team. These guys have captured that sense and have shared that with the national audience, and so hopefully the idiots who support the Detroit Lions and think that our team is going to bend over and lose twice this season, that ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen. Listen to the national media people who know what is going on in Chicago. The Chicago Bears are going to be a team to reckon with, and I appreciate those national media members who are pointing that out. I also wanted to shout out to Danny Shimon because of the personal issues that he's going to, and everyone in the Bears Barroom family. Hey, life isn't perfect. Sometimes, there's illnesses with loved ones and so forth. Please know that when we sit down at night, when we lay down at night, we're thinking about you. We've got prayers going out to you because we love you, not only because you're diehard Bears fans, because you're barflies, but because you're part of the human race, and we truly, truly wish you nothing but the best. We bust balls around here, but first and foremost, we love you all. We want good health for you. We want good fortune. And I think that's the way to end this show. Listen, if you drink, please do not drive, and always bear down.
Yeah. Shayne's drinking game, I see. Got jokes. Got fucking jokes. Alright.
I'm not blowing.
Spent the night praising it.
Where's Aaron Jerry?
Hey, but are you sure we're gonna beat them twice? Although you know they got that running back Ken Drake, and we only got Jordan Howard.
You know what? I'm predicting that. First of all, Kyle Popovich wrote a really nice article for BearsBarroom.com about having to win the division this year, and it's been since Lovie Smith that we've had a winning record in division. We went 5-1, 5-2 with the playoff loss to the Packers. It's been since then that we've had a winning record in this division. I think this year is when we turn it around. We're going to have a winning record against NFC North opponents, and it's going to begin week 1 with a victory against the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field. As Kyle very astutely pointed out, he did the research on this. He pointed out that Bears rookie head coaches have won their first game against the Green Bay Packers, going all the way back to, I think it was Lovie Smith was the last one the last one to lose his first game. I could be wrong. It could be even further away. But John Fox, Mark Trestman, these guys beat the Packers in their first game, and I think Matt Nagy is going to continue that trend. So we're gonna kick some ass. I predict maybe a 5-1, 4-2 record against NFC North teams. What do you guys think?
I'm so fucking excited after that speech.
You know what pisses me off, man? So I like rewatching the games. I was watching the divisional games. We were supposed to win that one against the Vikings here.
Yep.
We're supposed to win the one against the Lions here. Supposed to win the one against the Packers here. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, literally all those games, 1 or 2 fucking plays were made that just fucking ruined the fucking game.
Welcome to the NFL.
Benny Cunningham, that fucking challenge, bro. That shit just fucking took the football at the 1 yard line.
No shit.
Oh my god, I rewatched that shit earlier. I was mad as hell. Like, it just happened. It just happened. I was pissed. Like, it's going on right now. Like, John Fox, you stupid old bastard.
Yeah, I got another shout out that I want to get in before we turn off the lights here. Dan Aguirre sent me a box of CDs.
Oh, they got there.
Yeah, they did get here. I am so thrilled. I'm going to be watching Chicago Bears games from yesteryear, and I will be talking about that in future Bears Barroom Radio Network shows. Thank you very much for that lovely gift, and thank you to all of the people who gave me such wonderful gifts for my upcoming 60th birthday. You guys are all the best. It is time to say goodnight. Shayne has to deliver the mail. Phil has to find a lawyer. Trey has some fucking to do. And Bears Grl and I, what are we doing, Bears Grl?
I don't know what you're doing, but I'm going to bed.
I'm going to bed too. All righty, everybody. Let's say goodnight.
Good night.
I do like their chances, Aldo, in the North.
Good. Shut the fuck up, Phil. We were so close.
A drop.
We were so close.
So close to closing the doors.
That was the point.
All the chairs are up in the bar tables. The waiters are waiting by the door. They want to go home.
Scrubbing the fucking bar top.
And Phil says, another round.
Yeah.
Hey, you could get around in without sitting down.
Yeah.
That's true.
Goddamn right.
Let's go over to the liquor store.
Goddamn right.
Buy that corp. All right, fellas, I'm going to put the show together and then get some sleep.
Later, kids.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Adios.
Good stuff. That was a lot of fun, guys.
It was. Thank you, Trey. Thank you.
At my
Thank you,
expense, Shayne. Thanks.
Next week.